Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Frost, or just a really good hologram, and we'll never know. But yeah, anyway, I'm Frost. Hopefully they're doing good on this fine Sunday. Sunday's this video goes up, right? Yeah, Sunday. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. I don't know which day this goes up on. It's either Sunday or some other day in case something goes wrong with the editing. But yeah, so, how you all doing? Welcome to another Battlefield 2042 video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I've not seen many people talk about other than when the news first came out. But I feel like that's going to be a different video, and perhaps someone has made this video and I've just not seen it, then I'm sorry, but I'm stealing your idea. Anyway, as I'm sure you've seen from the title and thumbnail and stuff, I'm going to be talking about why Battlefield 2042 not having a campaign somewhat damages the game. Now, that might be an overstatement, right? The game damaged itself, but having a campaign for the game, obviously, right, there's no point to making this video. I am aware it's highly unlikely that we're going to get a campaign at this stage in the game because, well, we're in Season 1 now, eventually. So it's unlikely that DICE and EA are going to put a campaign into the game. However, let it be a lesson learned to them that the next Battlefield game should have a campaign to it. Now, obviously, no one buys a Battlefield game, similar to Call of Duty, purely for the campaign. And if someone does do that, well, then you're a very, very, very small majority of the player base. Battlefield is obviously a multiplayer game, this we obviously know, and, you know, that's why it's pretty big. However, a campaign, as we've seen, when they do it right with the right formula, can be really good for a game. Take a look at Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I personally think 3 had the best campaign in the entire franchise, personally. We could disagree on that, but I personally think 3 had the better campaign, 4 had the best multiplayer, right? Fight me on that if you want to, that's just my opinion. However, Battlefield 2042 obviously follows on from Battlefield 4, which had a good campaign. Don't get me wrong, I prefer 3, but Battlefield 4 still had a good campaign. And obviously Irish lived, so canonically Hannah was the one that got sacrificed. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, by the way, if you've not played the Battlefield 4 campaign, but now you know what happens at the end, so good. But do you guys remember the leading up to 2042? I believe it was already revealed at this point, but we got the Exodus kind of animated shot. Would you call it animated? Like, it's not live action. It wasn't really animated either. Was it Christ, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, we got the Exodus kind of short story, and it was amazing, you know. People, basically anyone I talked to in the Battlefield community liked it. Some people obviously didn't like it, I imagine, but you got this kind of dark and gritty feeling from it, and it's the same when you first load up Battlefield 2042. You get that cutscene, it's like the world is basically failing, the stock market's crashing, the world is failing, and it feels like it would be an amazing kind of campaign. Obviously, it wouldn't be, you know, as I said. Well, okay, here's how to put this, right? A campaign would not save this game, okay? It wouldn't. But it would, had they implemented it, it would have made the game a bit better, in my opinion. Assuming they did it right, okay? If they followed it, if they did a formula correctly and made the campaign like 3 and 4, which I imagine most people will agree is arguably the best campaigns in the series. Obviously, some people will think it's other games, but the way campaigns have gone in recent Battlefield games, it's not gonna, you know, I assume they wouldn't follow that. Battlefield 1's campaign was okay. I mean, the best one was the Australians, let's be real. Battlefield 5 was forgettable. I couldn't honestly tell you what happened in half the Battlefield 5 stories, other than the one with the tank. The tank was the best one. But, yeah. So, assuming they did it correctly and followed, you know, the better campaigns like 3 and 4, and not the formula that 1 and 5 had. Now, don't get me wrong, 1 was a great game, but the campaign was a bit all over the place. I didn't like the formula they did. Like, sure, it was okay, you know, but that was really it. It was just okay. It could have been something better, but World War One games, you know. Anyway, sidetracking. Had they done it correctly and say they gave Irish and the no-pats, like, I don't know. I'm not the greatest writer, right? But I imagine, knowing DICE in the past games, they could have done something really amazing. They had the setting down correctly, right? the dark, gritty feeling of 2042 when you first load it up, and the game tries to be like that. That could have been an amazing campaign, right? The Exodus short trailer, right? That could have been implemented into the game, but not really. But do you know what I'm trying to say, right? They could have done something similar to that in a way that it made a campaign, and it could have been something better. Battlefield 2042, whether you don't mind it or whether you hate it, because I've not seen anyone say they love the game, let's be real with each other here. Whether you like it or you put up with it, then yeah. I don't think we can all agree that... Well, I think we can all agree that a campaign would have made this game better. And as I said, I've not seen anyone talk about this topic other than when DICE... Or was it leaked, or did DICE say it? I'm not sure, but someone basically said that 2042 wasn't getting a campaign, and that's when I first saw people starting to talk about this. I was greatly disappointed, right? Now, okay, the last 2 games, the campaign hasn't been the best. 1 was okay, 5 was forgettable, as I've mentioned already. I don't need to repeat myself on this. But it could have been something, and I feel like that's the main point of this video. We won't get one now, and if we do, it's very unlikely we get one now, let's be real with each other. But yeah, the next game, assuming, I don't know, obviously no one knows what the theme of it's going to be, but if it's going to kind of be maybe like a prequel to 2042, and the world's starting to fail, please, for the love of God, implement a campaign to it. People have stated they wanted a campaign, and the fact the game doesn't have one, you know, it's a downgrade, more or less. Okay? Now, okay, I get it, a campaign would have been more work and money, and because of COVID and stuff, they probably couldn't have implemented it within the time limit they had, because EA is money hungry. Now, that would be a fair point, right? But still, it would have been nice to at least have something. Even if they didn't add the campaign, more animated shots like Exodus would have been, you know, it would have been something. They didn't have to make a campaign, which, okay, I say that, I would really like one. But the game can be something without one, because no one buys a Battlefield game or Call of Duty game for the campaign, right? And as I said, if they do, very, very, very small number, because it's a multiplayer game. So, yeah, there you go. That's basically my opinion on it. I think this game should have had a campaign, because they had the setting down. They did. Right? This, as I've stated so many times, it could have been something great, right? The multiplayer when it first launched was a dumpster fire, right? That's no secret. I imagine, you know, many of us were disappointed, obviously. I imagine you were. I know I was. But it could have been something had they had a campaign. Would it save the game? Probably not. Unless they did something so amazing that it saved the game. But the chances of that happening are highly unlikely. You know, it may not have saved the game, but it could have given the game some dignity. You know, the multiplayer could be absolute ass, but had they done it correctly, people might remember this game in the future and be like, oh yeah, the multiplayer wasn't great. Sure, they did a lot of things we didn't like adding specialists to the roster, and, you know, the maps are a bit wank, and the helicopters feel like they're breaking the game every time you go up against one. But you know what the game did have? It had an amazing campaign, because the setting was right, it followed the formula from 3 and 4, you know, it followed Iris again, who was, you know, a big part. I imagine people were really happy for Iris to come back. And so yeah, EA, you want my honest opinion? You fucked it on this one. You have. You just have. You don't have to agree with me in saying the Battlefield 2042 needs a campaign, because, well, it doesn't. The game proved that it technically didn't need a campaign, because it did get quite a lot of sales. That was before people knew it was wank, but, you know, it got a lot of sales nonetheless. And so, but just think of it, right? Imagine loading up Battlefield 2042. You get the intro cutscene, the world's failing, you know, and then you decide to try the multiplayer. It's not great, or you hate it, right? You're either in the middle of it or you hate it. So you decide, you know what, I'm going to give the campaign a try. And you loved it. obviously that might not happen. Had they, you know, you have to look at it in a way that had they implemented a campaign, it could have been absolute dog shit. But I reckon with, you know, people at DICE, I trust DICE, right? A little bit less so from the dumpster fire of this game, but I trust DICE, okay? I know they can make a great story. As I've said so many times in this video, you're probably sick of me hearing it. I know they can make a good story, okay? Sure, some of the stories aren't great, right? They're like, they can be hit or miss, right? Depending on someone's opinion. But still, there is no denying that this game would have benefited at least from a campaign, okay? That is my personal opinion, okay? So yeah, there you go. I'm done rambling now. You're probably sick of my voice at this point, talking about the, you know, the setting and how it could have been something. Yeah, okay, take a shot every time I said, you know, could have been something. You'd probably be drunk out your absolute arse. But yeah, there you go. I'm finished. Don't worry. You can rest happily, I guess now. But yeah, in my honest opinion, it should have a campaign. Obviously, we're not getting one. But yeah, anyway, I've been your boy Frost. Hope you guys did enjoy this Battlefield video. Hell yeah. See you guys in the next one, hopefully. See you next time. Peace.